All right, so I'm not sure if the stream is working. Um, if you guys can see this, please let me know. And if it's laggy, also please let me know because I'm not sure how good this upload is. So yeah, feel free to hop on. And if this is lagging, then I'll just pause the stream and do it another time. But you guys can, I'm gonna wait for some people to hop on, and if you're on, feel free to talk in the chat box. So, all right. So we're looking at SPY on the yearly chart, of course, and we'll talk about today's movement because I just thought it was a good time, or it is a good time, to talk about markets as we are right now. Hey, Eric, Elliot, Luis, welcome. Okay, great. So it's working, and we'll just wait for a couple more people to hop on. I gave a notification in the Discord chat. Do I have a link? So I'm talking to the Discord chat. There is no link, I don't think, but you might have gotten a notification in your email or something. So what's the next stop? Sport. Hey, welcome. Support. So looking at SPY, you guys can see a couple of items, and we discussed this. Take you guys to the yearly chart, actually. We discussed this in yesterday's Stock Talk, and this all holds true. Now, this low, this higher low line, is coming from the February lows, right? And this is a range that I've given in terms of where we could possibly find some near-term support. Now, you guys can see this impulsive move down, right? This cascade move down once we've fallen below 286, rather close below 286 on an hourly basis. This followed with a cascade action back down. Now, we're looking for some sort of support here. We could be finding that support today. So I'm still watching for some sort of reaction around that level. The thing about this is we've tested this support, and this is the fourth time that we're testing this support area. So does this have to hold? You have to ask yourself, does this have to hold? In my opinion, it doesn't have to hold. There's a couple of things that's playing into my decision, but one, this is the fourth time that we're testing this. So you guys can imagine if you keep on tapping on something, at some point, it's going to break. And whether this will break, if we manage to hourly and then daily close below this 282.50 level, I would expect another kind of cascade effect back down to the $280 level. There is a big delay. I don't think I can do anything with that. So hopefully it helps, but we'll talk about that level. So I'm not sure how to really fix that right now, but okay, so all right, so hopefully this will be better, but I'm not sure if this will be laggy in the future, but this is the level that we're looking at. Oh, it's not too bad. Okay, so what are we looking for? And the big thing, the big problem about this is IWM small caps. Here's the big problem. The red line represents the 200 period moving average. We're below that, and we're impulsively breaking that level. Guys, right? That's not good on the yearly chart, but if I take you guys to the 3-year chart, you guys can see that, by the close of Friday, right, we have bank earnings coming out at the end of the week. will we have a recovery back to the 50 period moving average? Because right now it looks kind of ominous, but we could recover back above. On the yearly chart, certainly doesn't look good. On the 3-year chart, which we're looking at right now, it's okay because we could still bounce off of this level. But we'll have to see, because if we get a weekly close below the 50 period moving average, man oh man, then everything's off the table, and we would, in my opinion, see some significant selling past that level if we manage to close below the 50 period moving average. So we're watching this, and I'm watching this very carefully. Kevin will check ES. So this is the S&P E-mini futures. And you guys can see we're at the 50 period moving average or near there. But the big problem about this is we've broken this support line of 2873, right? 2873. But let's take a look at the yearly chart. You guys can see 2873 was the major level. What happened today? Well, it looks like, unless we get a miraculous push above by the bulls by the end of the day, a close below that level is signaling more selling to come, right? So correlating with the SPY, right? More selling to come. So this support level doesn't have to hold. Okay, so let's take a look at a couple of things. Some of these, I'm just looking at some of these tickers, right? And this is rather incredible. We have Square, below $80. And what's really, in my opinion, keeping the market afloat just a tad bit before a massive, massive sell-off. You think 400 points is big, or 300 points is big on the Dow. In retrospect, that's a 1.5% drop, right? As we're seeing right now, 1%. What's really keeping us afloat, I think, is Apple. Look at Apple right now, right? Showed this on the Discord chat group, and Apple on the yearly chart looks fine. It looks like we're consolidating before a possible leg higher. That's interesting to note, right? So hence, if Apple starts breaking, Apple is a major component, right, of the Nasdaq and other indices. If that starts breaking, look for significant selling in all the indices. So, watching Apple right now, nothing too bad right now with Apple, but looking at some of the other tickers, they're really taking a beating, right? We have Netflix down over 5%, which it's already dropped quite a bit in the past few days. Hey, Million, welcome back to the stream. News coming out: if China's buying bond, if not, market will tank. Well, yeah. So I think the market. There's news items affecting the market, sure, but what we've been seeing in terms of technicals is it's been breaking major support levels, especially small caps has been incredibly weak in the past few weeks. So there's Apple for you guys. Just wanted to point this one out because if you're looking for some positive sides, this is a positive sign for the markets. Apple is a positive sign. And yeah, just looking at Amazon, right? Amazon doesn't look as good anymore. Look at Amazon right now. Here's the yearly chart, and look how we are. Okay, so let's actually zoom out and see how we're at the 20 period moving average. Isn't that interesting? How we're at the 20 period moving average on the yearly. The last time we did this, right? Here it is, right? Here was March, right? Here's March. Here's February, right? This is when we saw the mini correction. Now it's happening again. The question is, can we hold above this level by the end of the week? So what's the big picture here? Watching Apple, watching Amazon. But in my opinion, the Dow, I'm looking at the Dow right now. /YM for Dow E-mini or index futures. /YM right here. Here's the Dow. What do you look at? What are you seeing, guys, for the Dow? There's more downsides to the Dow, right? Just looking at this chart, you're like, well, how come Dow is still on the upside while the NASDAQ has been really crumbling in the distance, as well as the IWM, right? Look at the NASDAQ. This one's already pretty much lost entire quarter's worth, right? Where's the Dow? So what does that say for the Dow? What do you guys think? Well, there could be more selling by the Dow. That's something interesting to note. So anyhow, just wanted to point that one out. Guys, do you have any questions? Kevin, are you holding any stocks during this downtrend? Balaji. Am I holding any stocks? No. Well, I am. This is me. You guys don't have to do any of this. I am in a couple of the bearish ETFs earlier this week, and I've been in it. So that's all I'm doing. I'm holding just a couple of tickers, not too many, because I don't want to, just in case the market does recover at some point, I want to be in the long side because we're seeing some good prices. Of course, these good prices can continue dropping, as you guys know, right? So that's what I'm doing. What are you guys doing? Let me know in the comment section. I'll read, if you guys have any questions or anything, let me know. Let me ask, how's the stream going? So on my screen on the right hand side, I can see like the stream health, and it's like fluctuating from yellow to red, which tells me that you guys are probably experiencing some sort of lag. So I do apologize for that. Can Square recover this week if bank earnings goes well on Friday? Well, it's not only about bank earnings, to be honest. Look at this drop, right? I don't think, in my opinion, I don't think we're going to just drop and then boom, recover back the next week. I think it's going to take a little bit of time. We need to see consolidation by the market. So I'm not saying that we can't recover. I'm just saying that we need the markets to obviously stabilize first before this is going to pan out. Great streaming. Going good. Okay, good. Thanks, guys. So I don't think, bank stocks. Let's take a look at financials really quick. XLF. Oh, what is going on here? So financials, looking at this, well, actually, this chart looks better. The 3-year chart, if you guys, whoa. The 3-year chart, what do you guys see? Right? This is more of a bull flag pattern that's likely to play to the upside. But the question is here, looking at the XLF, right? What if we continue the formation of the bull flag? That's going to pull us lower, right? That's a over 5% move to lower if we're continuing the bull flag formation. And if the financial starts falling over 5%, even though it looks bullish on XLF, the markets is likely to follow that movement to the downside. That's interesting to note. Can we short the market today yet for another leg down? Can we short the market today for another leg down? So that's a difficult question, right? That's a difficult question. The reason is if you weren't shorting in the past, right? If you weren't hedging some of your positions in the past, and by no means am I an advisor or anything, we're at key support levels. The question is, do you want to short at a support or do you want to go long at a resistance? That's a question that you have to answer, but generally speaking, the answer would be no, right? Because we would be looking for some sort of bounce, and if you're getting caught at the wrong end of the spectrum, you can imagine how heavy you would feel, hoping that the markets would go down further at a support level. So anyways, here you go. Will, my SPY puts are killing it. Okay. ES on the weekly chart looks like we'll go down to 27.93. Let's take a look at that. In the weekly chart, let's take a look. 27.93. It could potentially get there. Right now we're at the 20 period moving average. Note how we found support. You guys can see on the weekly chart time frame, we found support in the past, right? We've dived under, but we found support. The question is, will we find support by the end of this week? I think by the end of this week, it'll paint a better picture, but it won't paint the full picture anymore. It won't paint the full picture, I don't think, because we're on it. Obviously, the momentum is being pulled to the downside, right? But the thing is, if we close below that level, that will paint a better picture. So we'll have to be watching that level closely. What's a good entry point for Baba? So Alibaba, no can do, right? We talked about Alibaba significantly in the past, and I think I've talked about these major levels, support levels that were broken. When we broke the support level at 169, and just review my previous videos if you guys haven't seen it, or 169, I was like, man, if you're looking Alibaba and it broke under, no can do, right? This is not good. And we break below support, and you can see a cascade effect back to the downside. Obviously, this is propagated by the Dow selling off and significant components, but look at this. I haven't been interested in Chinese stocks for a while now, and this is no. Thanks for that. Thanks, Elliot. And what else we got? Balaji, I've been watching ticker I. Is that like Intelsat or something? Okay, ticker I. Interesting. Let's take a look at this. So, ticker I looking better than the other charts, right? Obviously, as we're selling off, this one's selling off a little bit. What I'm seeing here is more of a bullish pullback. So, this one's overextended. This one is on a short-term down move. So, are you going to catch the down move? No. Are you going to short the down move? You might. But the thing is, here's the 20 period moving average, right? Around 29 to 29.80, 29.60. We could be falling towards that level. Okay. So, there's still perhaps $1 left to go. But then I would be watching the indices as well, right? If the indices aren't recovering, is I going to be chugging itself, running up a hill? That's a question you guys have to answer, because it did during these instances, but now you guys can see how when things go higher so significantly, it can rather drop significantly as well, which is what we're seeing right here. Futures down 50 points. Let's see. Let's take a look at SPY again. I want to... So we're watching the support level, and what's more important to me, okay, guys, is the daily close, okay? The daily close, if we start daily closing below this level, not good. That's going to signal really a cascade effect back to the, in my opinion, 280 mark. That's, and you guys can see how much this has wiped out in how fast the markets can come down. It's wiped out. Let's see. Can I even do this? Up to August. 1st of August. So, are we going to get a reactionary bounce? Let's take a look. Okay. Let's see. So, we're pretty much... Okay. So, we're pretty much at the bottom of my red line, the support level. So can you guys see how we're having a reactionary bounce off of that level? Is this, is this the coincidence? I hope not. So this is the reactionary bounce, but, look at the bounce. Is this even can we even call this a sustainable bounce? What do you guys think? Doesn't look too definitive to me. When I look for a bounce, I'm looking for a high volume sell-off followed by some movement upwards. This pattern just doesn't look that great right now. Let me take a look at the 5-minute. Yeah, it's It's not too great at the moment. So yeah, I'll be watching where we daily close off of this level. That's the major point. All right, guys, do you have any other questions? I think you guys wanted to take a look at a couple of commodities. We're looking at crude oil falling significantly. Again, I'm more concerned about the close of crude oil rather than the movement intraday. Looks like we are overbearing, but yeah, I don't want to make any conclusions about crude oil until the end of the day, because these can fluctuate wildly over the period of time. So, all right, so guys, if you guys don't have any more questions, thank you everyone for tuning in to this once in a blue moon live stream. I just wanted to come on and talk about these trends because these movements are quick, they are dramatic, and just don't want to make you guys, be off guard at the very least. So, sold my shares of NIO. Rico, welcome to the stream. Let's take a look at NIO. So NIO was one that you guys can see was pushed higher as IPO and then came down. And then recently, and here, this is why I, if you guys are good doing this, by all means doing this, but I don't like to get caught in the hype. For example, yesterday at the end of the trading day, we went up, 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 up. This was a move, I believe, of like 20+ % points, and then what happened? Right, we started selling, and people at this point were like, "This is what you do when you guys hold the stock." This is, but, looking at the long term, right? Looking at the long term, if you held the stock, if you bought in at this point and you held the stock, you would have already been down at that point, right? You would have already been down over 20%. The only way you could have made money is at some point during this time period, you thought this was a bottom. But think about how many people were guessing at that point, right? Not many people, because by that time, not many people had much interest. So what's the moral of that story? I don't like to base my trades off of other people's opinions, other people's like news and whatnot. News is just going to move it up or down, but the market is going to do what it wants to do. The news kind of follows the market. If the market goes down, the news will come up with a reason why it went down. That's just how it is. All right, guys. Thank you, Kartik. Luis, we're looking at support at 282. So we're looking at the support right here. You guys can see the bounce. There it is. See? Off of the bottom red line right here at the support area. So what do you guys think we're going to do? Well, we might be fluctuating from these two areas, right? Which we've done in the past significantly. So once again, guys, technical lines, of course they matter. They matter a lot, because we do them as accurately as possible. And here's the bounce off of the bottom support line. And you guys can just imagine, if I had a white line or a red line that's coming through this, you're like, man, Kevin, this doesn't look good anymore. But I don't make up these lines willy-nilly. I take great effort into putting accurate lines down. All right, all right, guys. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I will see you guys later for a stock talk. All right, thanks for joining.